Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English. The title of today's lesson is Between or Among. So, between and among are both prepositions. And a common use of these words is to describe position. And this particular meaning is in the middle of. But what are the other meanings? When do we use between and when do we use among? So let's answer these questions in today's video. So let's look at between. So when we use between to describe position, then we use between for two things that are clearly separated. So here is an example. The house is between the mountain and the sea. And the mountain and the sea are clearly separated. So we can see it on the picture. We have the house here. And the house is between the mountain, which is way over here on the left. And it's also between the mountain and the sea. And the sea is right down here. Okay, so between two things, so it's for two things that are clearly separated. So something in the middle, and the other two things are very clearly separated. Okay, so this is to describe position. Now, among. We use among for things that are not clearly separated. So again, this is for the meaning of position. So when we're talking about position, then we use among for things that are part of a group or part of a mass of objects. Okay, so we are not talking about specific separate things. So here is a very common example. The house is among the trees. Okay, so the house is among the trees. So there are lots of different trees in lots of different places, and the house is in the middle of them. Okay, so we say the house is among them, among the trees, because it's a big mass of objects. It's a group of objects, and it's not really very clear. Okay, but there are other meanings of between and among. That is the meaning of position, but we also have a few other meanings. So let's look at some more differences of between and among. So let's look at the form first of between. So we have between, and then there are two noun phrases. So between the first noun phrase, then often we have the word and then we have the second noun phrase. So an example. There is a pen between the notepad and the computer. There is a pen between the notepad and the computer. Okay, so we have two clearly separate objects, and in the middle we have the pen. Now here is a different meaning. Here we are using between to compare two things. So we are making a comparison. Okay, we are comparing lions and elephants. So we say there are many differences between lions and elephants. So we often use the word between when we are comparing things. Okay, compare and contrast. So here we are looking at differences. So we always say differences between one thing and another thing. Okay, so here we have the noun phrase is singular, and here we have a noun phrase and each one is plural. Okay? And very important, we also use between to connect numbers, dates, and times. And we only use between for this. We do not use among for this meaning. Okay? Example. I go swimming between 2 and 5 times per week. I go swimming between 2 and 5 times per week. For example, sometimes I go 3 times per week. So it's a number between 2 and 5. Mark lived in Paris between 2010 and 2015. Okay, so after this date and before this date, Mark lived in Paris. So between starting date and finishing date, the end date. Okay. And here we have a question. Where were you between 1 p.m. and 3:30 p.m.? So between the starting time and the end time. Okay, so we have a period of time in the middle. Okay, so between to connect numbers, dates and times, and we do not use among for this. There are some common nouns that often come before the word between. Connection, link, relationship, difference and distinction. You've already seen this one. Remember, I said there are many differences between lions and elephants. Let's have a look at these two. So here we have a question. Is there a connection between intelligence and wealth? Is there a connection between intelligence and wealth? Okay. And here we have a statement, an affirmative positive statement, which says there is a strong link between smoking and lung cancer. There is a strong link between smoking and lung cancer. So what we're saying here is that smoking causes lung cancer, or there is strong evidence which suggests that smoking causes lung cancer. Okay, so we have two concepts and they are linked. Okay, there is a link between these concepts. Okay, so link between two things, connection between two things, we have relationship between two things. Okay, we have differences between two things, and there we have distinctions between two things. Okay. Among. So there are several meanings for among. There are 3 I'm going to discuss in this video. So in the middle of other things, or surrounded by other things. And you've already seen one example of this. So this is the example we have already seen. The house is among the trees. Let's look at 2 more examples. I saw my friends among the crowd. I saw my friends among the crowd. So the crowd, this is an uncountable noun. Okay, so a crowd is the collective group of people. And within the crowd, I saw my friends. Okay, so we say my friends are among the crowd. Okay, so somewhere in this photograph there are my friends. That's what this means. Okay. She feels uncomfortable among her classmates. Among her classmates. So with her classmates, or in the middle of her classmates, she does not feel comfortable. She feels uncomfortable among her classmates. Okay. Meaning number 2. Happening as part of a group of people or things. Included as part of a group of people or things. Let me give you 2 examples. So here we have a protest, and notice that they are all women. So these women are protesting. They're not happy about something. They're angry about something. So we can say that the decision has caused a lot of anger among women. Among women. So anger, a lot of anger among women. Okay? So as a group, as part of a group of people, or happening as part of a group of people. Okay, okay. And this is a very, very common example of this word. So Jane says, I had a terrible day at work today. And then her three friends, Claire, Sarah, and Anne, said, don't worry, you are among friends now. You are among friends now. So this is a very common expression. So if you want to reassure someone or to console someone, to cheer them up, to make them feel a little bit happier, you say, you are among friends now. Okay? So don't worry, we are kind, we are nice, we are here to help you. You are among friends now. And meaning number 3 means to each one in a group of people or things. So we do something to each member of a group of people or things. And so here is an example. I don't know if you can see on the photograph, but there is some seed here. There is food on the hand here. Okay, and there are 3 birds, 3 pigeons, and they are all eating this seed. So we can say, I shared the food among all of the birds, among all of the birds. So to each one of the birds. Okay, I shared the food with all of the birds. So we say among, and all of the birds, this is the noun phrase. Okay. She divided up the work among the members of the team. Okay, so this is the boss, and she divided up the work among the members of the team. Okay, so this is the team, and so she said, okay, you're doing task A, you're doing task B, and you're doing task C. So she divided up the work among the members of the team. Okay, to each one in a group of people. And finally, here we have a very good expression. This is an expression that we use with the word among. Among other things. And so it means in addition to something, or as well as something. Okay? And a common use of this is, we often say among other things when we have a long list of things to do. So when we're very busy, we can say, so for example, at work, during a busy day, perhaps in the afternoon, and someone asks you, what have you got left to do? What work do you have left to do? You could reply, well, among other things, I still have to finish this report. Among other things, I still have to finish this report. So this means the work I have left is I have to finish this report, and I also have a long list of other things to do as well. Okay, but I'm not going to mention all of them. This is one of the things I have to do, but I also have a lot of other things to do as well. So among other things, I still have to finish this report. Okay, in addition to. Okay, a very common expression when you are very busy. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're preparing for the IELTS exam, then click here for information about our IELTS online course. And here are some other videos that I recommend.